which one do you go first?
I'll ask you a question first.
Okay.
Audio speed. Take 2.
Okay, so what's your favorite memory of shopping or dressing up with me?
Oh, easy. I mean, it's not been that long ago, but like prom, you know, that whole process of going out and shopping for the dress, and it was like what every mother who has a little girl wants to do. I remember you tried on, like, I remember we went to that shop in Buckhead and you like put a pink one on and then a couple more and it ended up with that coral one. And I was just like, oh my gosh, she looks like, it was like a wedding dress moment for me.
I love that dress.
I know. and then I did your hair and makeup, I think, for that one. And
you did great.
Yeah. Oh, it was stressful though. That was not the year that you went to the other hair girl. Remember that?
The dreaded year that I went to someone besides you for my hair and makeup.
I know, because I'm so good.
Yeah.
But it was awesome.
Yeah.
That's my when I think about, I needed a little girl in my life. I needed a daughter. Like that day and that time was everything. It was so good.
Yeah, I agree.
I loved it.
Oh, don't cry. I could see a
like,
tear in your
I know. I mean, like for you and with me, like, did you have that same feeling? Like, did you appreciate it at the time, or were you kind of just like, like?
I mean, I was
lucky my mom's good at this. Or?
I always was so lucky, and I was always so proud of you because none of my other girlfriends' moms did it.
Aww.
And so they all wanted to come to my house before prom and homecoming, and I always felt so lucky.
I know.
And I kind of just got to like show you off.
Aww.
And I was like, oh, well, my mom can do my hair, my makeup. So yeah, that was special.
Oh. Okay, well, what is the first, like, I know you've always loved fashion, and especially now, you're so, like, fashion forward, especially living in New York, but, like, what's the first piece of clothing or, like, accessory that you had that you, like, really loved? Do you remember? I think I know, but, because I think I bought it.
Well, this goes against my current being a fashionista, but I would say it would have to be the Uggs.
Oh my God.
I just remember every girl in my grade had them, and I think I was 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And I had to have the Uggs.
Yeah.
And it's all I wanted. And I think Christmas, you got them for me.
Yeah.
And I was so excited, and I don't think I took them off for 3 months.
I know. All of your friends, it was like every little girl had Uggs and leggings and long shirts.
The Victoria's Secret pink leggings. And that was the uniform.
Yeah.
That was it. And that was my favorite piece of clothing.
Well, yeah. And when I was young, like, leggings were not a thing. I mean, I don't even know if they existed in the 70s.
Don't date yourself.
I know. I'm really dating myself. But I don't know if they existed in the 70s, but jeans were such a big thing. And for us, well, there were two things. One, add a bead necklace was huge. Like, do you even know what that was? Did they? No. It was like you would have this necklace and had like gold beads, and then like for special occasions or your next birthday, you would get another bead added. So add a bead. But like the jeans of the day were Gloria Vanderbilt jeans, and Brooke Shields. I think it was Brooke Shields did this like complete sexy ad, and so of course we all wanted them. Skin tight. I mean, you had to lay down on your bed, full on, flat, like shimmy them up, and then zip, and then it was just like painted on. Amazing.
And they'll probably be back in style in 5 years.
Yeah, just when you say.
Around,
yeah.
As I always say, oh, this is good, considering you were just talking about Brooke Shields. Who's your style icon?
Oh gosh, do I have one? Maybe it's you.
Look at him, so honored.
I mean, I kind of, now I see lots of like TikTok gals, but I just love that like classic beauty. I don't know. I guess I can't really think of like a specific person, but I loved all. You know, like in my era, the supermodels were a thing. You know, there were like official supermodels that were celebrities, and I guess there are today, but not quite on that scale. like it was, Cindy Crawford and Naomi Campbell and all the big girls. Well, she was even like she was a supermodel, but she wasn't the same as those gals. Amber Valletta, like those during my formative years were like, you just wanted to anything, and they were so tall and they could like still wear pants that were long enough. So I was like, oh, you're not so weird. Yeah. It's okay.
There you go.
It's okay to be a giant. So what about you?
I would say celebrity-wise, I feel like I always look at, like, because I do like to dress, depending. Like, I've always loved Miley Cyrus. I've always loved her just, like, from a young age. So I've always loved her style and how it's evolutionized over the years.
Yeah.
And she loves a little Western vibes sometimes. Yeah. Like, she'll wear her cowgirl boots. And then she'll wear, like, something a little more edgy and rock.
Yeah, she's fearless.
And I've always loved her. Yeah. I love looking at Madonna's old photos. And, I feel like 70s, 80s fashion is so back. So, I feel like, again, what goes around comes around. And I've loved, like, the Penny Lane kind of era. Yeah. And just, like, that 70s, too. Like, I love that fashion.
Cute. And luckily in New York, you have the vintage stores, so.
And trust me, I got some pieces
you're doing good.
That have aged well, probably from your teenage years.
Oh, okay. All right, if you could go back in time, which, it's not that long in time, what would you tell your younger self? Or tell my younger self. Go back in time, what would you tell your younger self?
My younger self.
I think so.
I think I would just tell myself to be confident always. I was tall early. Yeah. And the boys were really short, and that was hard. And I have lots of freckles, and I didn't always like them. Yeah. And you just don't like little things about yourself. And I wish I would just tell myself, be confident, because when you're at your most confident, you're most beautiful, I think.
Oh, so true. So true. I have said that to myself so many times. I wish I could put my older brain in my younger face or in my younger body, because truly, like, if you look back and you're like, wow, you should have been so happy with, how you looked back then. Yeah. And you should be so happy. Like now, I guess freckles are a really popular thing. And you're like, and then they were, you looked so gorgeous, but you were just like, Mom, I hate them. The only good thing was you were good about sunscreen.
Well, I don't know if you know this story, but there was a time, like a little 2-week period in the summer when I was younger, and it was when I hated my freckles, and I thought that if I tanned enough, they would have, this is when I was like 8 or 9, thought if I tanned enough, they would eventually all form together and I would just be tan. And so I fried myself for 2 weeks and got a horrible sunburn and was peeling. And it was just the saddest thing looking back on my old self, being like, your freckles are beautiful, embrace them, this is so silly. I know. And I wish I could just shake my younger self. Yeah, and say, and even like, confident, yes, but also just, I feel like when you're younger, you want to conform. And I guess even now, like the uniform, all the girls wore the same thing, you want to conform and be, but it's so great if you could have just said, oh, well, it's okay to be yourself, to be a little different, you don't have to be like this mold. Definitely.
So.
Definitely. Aw, okay. This is cute.
What?
What is your happiest memory of us?
Of us?
Yes. I feel like we have so many.
I know.
It's hard to pick.
I know. Like I could go way back to when you were a baby. I could just briefly touch on how cute you were and your little sassy personality. Like you were this cute little baby girl and you would play with dolls sort of, but also more like the stuffed animals, your kids, as you know, your kids, the children, that were all stuffed animals and not dolls. But you would be like, maybe because of having a big brother, you were this cute little girl, but then you kind of also had to be rough and tough. And you have this, you still kind of have this kind of not scratchy voice, but like,
raspy voice has
raspy
never
voice. Yeah. And you would just, I've shown you that video where you're like dressed up as Batman. And I'm like, what are you going to be for Halloween? Are you going to be Belle? Are you going to be Snow White? And you're like pounding the Play-Doh on the kitchen counter and you're like, I don't know. I was like, are you going to be Snow White? I don't know. What are you going to be? And then you went, Batman. Batman. And I mean, like, Cole just, I think he made you tougher. Like, to me, you're like the perfect girl because maybe for like a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, because you are a very feminine person, but you're also a tomboy. an athlete, and you have like a good sense of humor, like you can communicate well. So I don't know, I guess if I think about like happy memories with you, I think about all those times where I was just like, I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
She's like, if I wanted to be someone else or be better in some way, I'd want to be like her.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, very proud of you.
Don't know, you're gonna make me
I know,
cry.
I'm like actually tearing up. Okay, you go. Do you have any memories of me when you thought you were so happy as a person?
I have so many memories of us. I just feel like I was always so lucky growing up and didn't even know it. Just you were the mom that all the girls and my friends just wanted to be around. And I would not say that about every parent. Our house
Maybe it was too easy.
No. Our house was known as like the safe place for all of my friends, and they always came no matter what because they knew you would always.
I always
talk to
wanted
them or
that.
console.
Like I wanted to be that house.
Like even if they didn't feel comfortable at their house, they would come to our house, and
Yeah.
I'm always very proud of you guys for that.
Yeah.
And my friends would complain about their parents all day long, and I'm like, I really don't have anything because they're just my, and just like growing up and us becoming, like you say, best friends.
Mm-hmm.
We go on trips and have so much fun together. We just went on a trip with, my boyfriend, and
I know.
it just was so much fun. It was like a double date.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a couple friends.
Yeah.
Because we're just there. Like
It's
if
easy.
I didn't know you, I would love to be your best friend.
Oh, that makes me feel good. Good one. We were just talking about this. In what ways do you think we look alike?
I would say, I feel like our facial structure is very similar. I know, like, our eyes we were talking about this just
Yeah,
now,
I
so
know.
I have it fresh in mind, but I would say our facial structure is very similar.
Yeah.
I feel like my eyes are a bit more like Aunt Beanie, your
Mhm.
sister.
The shape, you mean? Yeah.
And again, I just think our euphemisms and the way we kind of hold ourselves and carry ourselves,
Yeah.
and I would say more than our looks, the way we act is very similar.
Yeah. The way that, yes. And even, I don't know what it is that we do that people are like, oh, wow, you two are clones.
It's like especially when we have a glass of wine, we're going, yeah,
little this, little that.
Let me tell you.
But, yeah, I think that is part of it. And then I think you're right, like bone structure. And you're tall, but you have like a completely different figure than me.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is, but people do think often, especially when you had blonde hair, I think they thought we looked
when I was
more.
blonde, and I think we do our makeup similar and
Yeah.
things like that. So I think people.
Well, you
an
learn
obvious-
from the best.
Of course. Of course.
No, I think you're way better at makeup than me. What is something I've done that's rubbed off on you?
What comes to mind instantly for some reason is you've always set the motto, kill them with kindness. And I just think you go through your whole life treating everyone so kind. And whenever I'm in a tough situation where I'm feeling like a tension with someone, I always think kill them with kindness. And that's something you've definitely rubbed off on me. And it's the best way to handle things, honestly.
Like, I'm so happy to hear that that's the thing that you...
It's the first thing that popped into my head,
Yeah.
seriously.
Because one thing that I admire about you is that, like, you have the ability to walk into a room and within 2 minutes, everyone likes you. Like,
But you're the same way.
I don't know.
You always say that about me, but you're
I don't know. I feel like I
Where do
struggle
think-
like with that, but
like
you.
I emulate you.
I don't know. Maybe it's just how I see myself, but I just see you as this bubbly person that's like, your timing is so cute, your comedic timing, and you're like instantly just funny and cute and likable. And sometimes I think as a tall, pretty girl, you can walk into a room and people aren't really sure if they're gonna like you, but instantly you're disarming. And I think that's just so cool.
Well, you're the same way. That's the
Aw.
thing. Take a mirror.
Well, I'm glad I rubbed.
Yeah.
I'm glad I rubbed onto you.
Yes. Okay, what's one thing you think I should know about your generation?
What did we decide I was?
You're Gen X.
Gen X.
You're not a boomer.
No, that's Dad.
She's like,
I think you guys perceive us as being kind of maybe like stiff or like super put together. super, maybe even motivated, I don't know, or like straight-laced. We weren't. We weren't. I mean, like when my fun years, I would say, like the 80s and even 90s. Let's see. Yeah, because I had you in 2000. But all those years, like 20s, like it was so much fun. And I don't know, I think, yeah, people were, it wasn't as free maybe as like the 70s and feeling completely, it was kind of like a bounce back from the 70s. But we had such a good time, and it wasn't, we also weren't as together as I think that sometimes you think, oh, mom's like so together and like always on time and da-da-da-da. But, you know, that's all a learning process. We weren't always that way. We had a lot of fun, and we weren't certainly perfect by any means.
Yeah, I feel like when you grow up, you do think your parent is perfect.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, you learn more, I feel like through music.
Yeah. Well, in our family, but not me as much as...
Well, I'm just saying, like, the music in the 80s was so fun and, like, rock and roll and grungy.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to that music for the first time being like, is this when my mom was a teenager? Was this what she was listening to? Like, and I was like, maybe she's not as, you know, proper.
Square.
Perfect.
Square, even that word.
Yeah. I'm Gen Z.
Gen Z.
So
What characterizes Gen Z as far as you know?
I feel like Gen Z is just always information.
Yeah.
You know, always on to the next thing, always consuming.
That's true. I mean, you said, what did you say about middle school today and Instagram?
That I was one of the last to just grow up without social media. And
Yeah.
that we got Instagram when I was 12.
Yeah.
Which seems so young.
Well, to me, it seems young.
It seems super young, but comparatively now, it's, you know, a very normal age. But it was also a different...
It was a different
everything
Instagram.
Was different.
Yeah, it was like, here's a picture of a flower.
Yeah, it was like just nothing was...
The pressure wasn't there. Like
nothing was
now,
posed.
Thank God. Thank
And
God
I'm
you didn't.
so grateful for that. Me and my friends talk about it. It's just, we had some time to just be free.
Yeah.
Before all
without,
that.
without being compared to each other or to the world, and also know what you're missing. Although I do remember knowing what you were missing out on a little bit, like once you were on there. But yeah, you're right about the information generation for sure. For sure.
Definitely.
All right, here's where I get the love. What's your favorite thing about being my daughter?
I love it.
I know. Go ahead.
I would just say the fact that you truly are my person. So I can come to you with any problem, anything in my entire life, whether it's friends or boys or just work, any situation. You're the first person I call, like no matter what. I don't, you know,
I feel that.
You just are my person.
Yeah.
And you've never judged me. You only want to help me.
That's true.
You're truly my biggest supporter and always on my side. And you just are my person. Like, and there will never be like a person in my life that's like you, you know, like I'm gonna cry. But like one day I'm gonna get married and have kids, but like no one else is ever gonna be my mom, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a special relationship.
I'm so grateful for it. I really am. And I couldn't be more proud of who you are. So true.
Your tissue's over there.
Thank you. Okay. Is it your turn? I think so.
Okay, this one's easy. And we kind of touched on this, but what were you like at my age?
25. Okay. What was I like at your age? Kind of similar to you. Very similar to you, actually. I was living in Europe and different cities, traveling around working. Just, you know, excited about seeing new places and kind of figuring out who I wanted to be, which I definitely see you doing. Like, I mean, you're feeling out the world and like your place in it, and what do you want out of life, and also what your opinions are, you know, because I feel like when you're growing up and you're young, you kind of adopt the opinions and the views of your parents for a long time, and then you kind of slowly start to talk to your friends and hear about them, but then by the time you're this age, and when I was your age, I was a lot like that. I was like, okay, kind of this is how I feel about things, and it's okay to be different, to have different opinions from my parents, and to see the world differently. And I think I was a lot like you, which is not surprising. Oh, I think you might have already kind of said this, but what is something that I've said that has always stuck with you? Yeah. Which is
I'll stick with
be
my
kind.
answer,
Yeah.
Kill them with kindness, always.
Yeah, kill them with kindness.
You know?
Especially the ones that really hate you.
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
You walk into the room where people dislike you, just kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
And then they look like a jerk.
Yeah.
And that's what you've always said.
Did I say that?
Yes.
That part? I didn't say the jerk part, though. I'm sure of it. I wouldn't do
Anyways.
that. That's irresponsible.
What is the craziest thing you've done but never told me?
Oh, no. Oh, okay. She's
I hope it's something
going
fun.
through the Rolodex. I don't even know if I can talk. No. I mean, there was a lot of like sneaking out of the house stories, but you did all that. And none of that is shocking. Well, I mean, a lot of the time when I was living in Europe, like it was a completely different culture there and time. It was the wild sort of 90s. And like living in Spain, there was a time that I was modeling there, but also like we were sort of not like minor celebrities. We all lived with in the model hotel, and so we would go out, and it was just like the promoters would take us from bar to bar to bar, and there was a stretch of like 3, 4, 5 days that I'm not really sure there was a lot of sleep. We would exit the club and it's daylight, and I'd go straight to castings, looking great, and get a few of those jobs. And I mean, I'm not proud of it because it wasn't like the most responsible, me. It was the crazy me. But and after a few days of that, it was kind of toward the end of my time there, and I was like, here's what I'm proud about. I was like, it's time to go home now. Enough is enough. But I don't know if I had like a super like crazy like jump off a cliff like you. Oh, I think there's something like that, but
I've only jumped off one or two cliffs.
Yes, I was never like you as far as like fearlessness. I was always more like Cole, a little bit more careful. You were more like Dad in just like even as a kid, like just being completely fearless, but not me. I was more of a feel it out kind of gal, so nothing all that exciting.
No way.
Yeah, no way. What if I taught you about friendships?
Always make effort with your friends, even if it's not always reciprocated. Because you never know, how someone's life is. But
What
I feel
they're
like
going through.
you always are making effort with your friends, no matter what. Even if they're not always planning dinners and always planning things, and you're always hosting. And recently something happened with one of my friends. I always reach out, and she doesn't always reach out to me, but she's one of my great friends, so I always reach out to her. And she pulled me aside recently and told me just how much that meant to her, because she's been going through something personal, and she's like, even though I haven't been reaching out, you've consistently reached out to me, and that just means so much. And that's you're who I got that from.
Oh.
Like, it doesn't matter. Always be a good friend, always reach out.
Yeah. Oh. These are things I didn't know. That makes me feel great. I mean, yeah.
What's something your mom or a mother figure taught you that you want to teach me?
Well, my mom, as you know her so well, as Omi, and I feel like you've already kind of learned it in a way, but she was so brave. I mean, she, if you know her story of coming to America from Germany and basically she calls it the slow boat in steerage. I mean, coming to America and just wanting something more for her life. And I mean, I wonder if sometimes if that's where you got your, sort of bravery to just say, you know what, Mom, I graduated from college and I'm moving to New York and I'm going to figure it out. And that is so brave. I never really had that kind of bravery myself, but Mom, Omi certainly did. And I, even though even though I wasn't able to take advantage of her bravery, you were, and I admire that. Like I feel like maybe going forward, you'll even teach that back, and I'll be more brave about things. But I feel like at a young age,
I feel like you already are.
yeah, well, but going out to see the world and like moving to a new place, and that is, I think it's so formative. I think it expands you as a person, and like you're different now, and you're going to continue to be different for your whole life because of taking a chance and trying this. And even now, you're looking for a new job, and you've said, you know what, I'm not just going to take the first job that comes along, like you did this last time, because I want to find something I really want to do, and maybe it's not corporate,
Right.
And that's brave. That takes guts, especially in New York City. Yeah, that was definitely. I think that's directly from my mom.
Definitely.
What's something you tell your friends about me?
I always tell the first thing I tell them, I'm like, I have a hot mom. And then all my friends that know you go, yeah, she does.
Oh my god!
And
like
they
it's like embarrassing.
and then I'm like, well, let me see her. And then I'll show a picture. They're like, oh my goodness, she's gorgeous.
Do you say, oh, she's very young looking? Do you say that?
Everyone's like, she looks so young. And I'm like, yeah, she's not.
She's not young.
I'm
She's
kidding,
way
I'm
older
kidding.
than she looks.
She's
Yeah.
a call away always. And, she works in New York sometimes. And every time she comes up, you always get dinners with my friends. And
Yeah.
they get to meet you and instantly fall in love with you.
Mm.
And, I'm just a mini you. So they
Yeah.
meet you and instantly are like, this makes
Yeah.
sense that you're mom and daughter.
Yeah, yeah.
You're outgoing and always love meeting new people.
Yeah.
And
Do you ever feel like it's hard to be outgoing, or is it like nothing to you?
I feel like more natural.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
I think that's a way that we differ. I think I've had to like work at it and learn it more, and I feel like you're just like it's easier for you. Like you.
Well, that's the dad.
That's the
in me.
dad. Yeah, I think so too. I totally
Yeah.
see it. Here's a really good one. This is very, very timely question. How can I best support you this year? How perfect, right?
I
'Cause
would just say
it's transition.
it's a transition year. So I would just say keep doing what you're doing.
Well,
Just
no,
be
you
my
said something,
support.
I think it was either yesterday or today, and I think in the car yesterday you said, I asked how the job search was going, and you said, it's a process or something, or I have a plan, or
I was just saying things take time. I
things
think
take time.
I would say you're a fixer.
Yeah,
That is what you do. So
Yeah.
when things aren't going perfectly well, you need to jump in and fix them immediately,
Right.
which is helpful in a lot of ways, but sometimes it's good to give space and give time and
yeah,
let
I know.
let things happen as they naturally do. So I love your support and I love your help always, but also giving space and time.
I know. I can't help it. I just am like, oh, but she's my little baby.
Even at 25.
Even at 25. I know. And I mean, when you like, I know how I can best support you this year. And you have made it clear, and I do know. And just know that I am trying my best to not
I love you.
over
It's just
support,
Can't be helped.
to not manage you.
Yes.
I'll do my best. I am doing my best.
What have I taught you about motherhood?
Okay, easy. That because one thing they never tell you when you become a mother is that like they tell you nothing basically. There's no class, like there's no. I mean, maybe today it's even worse because you look at Instagram and then there's the perfect mothers on Instagram, so that would be even worse. So thank God that I didn't have that. But you don't really know what you're doing. And even if you have the best advice from the best people, then the advice changes like a couple of years later. So, I mean, it's just, you don't have to be perfect. Like you don't have to do everything perfect. There's really no right way. And the main thing is just to love your child and have their best interests at heart. But if the little things aren't just right, or you're not just right, or you don't follow the current advice, or you're not more of a disciplinarian, or you're not more relaxed, it's okay. They're gonna turn out okay, or maybe I was just lucky. But I feel like as long as I let you know that you were number one and that had your back, that you would figure it out. That was that's the best thing. It's the most important thing.
Definitely. What's your favorite thing about being my mom?
Okay. Going back to what I just said is that, you don't have to do it perfectly, but my favorite thing is that we share so much, and you're there for me now too. I mean, that's the greatest thing. Like you say I'm there for you and you can come to me with any problem, but it's reciprocal now. I mean, so many times, like I've texted you and said, sorry, I'm just having a hard day. And then like 9 times out of 10, you're calling me and like, well, okay, tell me about it. Like, what's hard about your day? What's bad? And then, it's almost like you either give me back my own advice or you give me your advice, which is often what I need to hear. And so that, and then just having someone that's I guess my favorite thing about having you for a daughter, is because of the person you are. Like, you are this empathetic, kind person, non-judgmental person. So, you never make me feel like I'm being crazy, even if I am. You kind of are like, it's I feel validated, that you can be a support to me now, and also because you're so much fun. Like, you're so much fun. Like, I love. Like, what if I had this daughter that just was, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I would love any daughter, but you're just fun. Like, you're just fun to be with, and you're a funny person, and you're interesting, and all those things make you a best friend. And when you can have a daughter who is also your best friend, then jackpot. I know.